All right, so it finally happened after years and years of like waiting for this, thinking somebody's got to do it by now. Cherry Audio finally did what so many of us have been waiting for, which is a software emulation of the Roland Jupiter-6 synthesizer. Yes. And I am a big fan of the Roland Jupiter-6. Actually, I've owned a total of 3 Jupiter-6s in my lifetime, so I'm very familiar with the synth, and I love it. I also have owned a Jupiter-8 and a bunch of Juno 106s, so I'm very familiar with the old Rolands, and I love them. They're probably my favorite synths of all time, and the Jupiter-6 is definitely just such an awesome, cool synth. And wow, it's so cool to now see this on my computer screen finally after all these years. And I got to say, Cherry Audio just did an outstanding job on it. This thing is just spectacular. I think the graphic user interface looks fantastic, and it looks and feels just like my old Jupiter 6s. They've got a few things added on. You know, they've got effects, of course, built in. They've got this layer section and a few more things in the control area down here. Performance controls, but and then also they've also got an upper and lower. You can actually layer sounds on top of each other, whereas the Jupiter 6 you could actually split it into split the keyboard, so the bottom half of the keyboard could play one sound, top half could play another. But on this Mercury 6, they allow you the ability to actually have 2 sounds layered at the same time, which is really cool within one instance of the software. And when you click on each layer, it changes the colors of the layer. See, the red goes to blue. So that helps you to know which sound you're actually working on, because sometimes you'll be editing a sound and you're like, how come it's not changing everything? You're like, oh yeah, that's because I'm using a layered sound. But in this case, I just got this today, and this software just was released this week. Been waiting for the weekend so that I would be able to sit down with it on a Saturday morning and just have this song on my heart. So I just started playing it. It's not your typical song you would do a synth arrangement around, but it's a song in 3/4, and it's an old church hymn, actually. So it's Jesus Paid It All. Not what you expect for a synth demo, but anyway, I'm going to play the demo that I did for you, and then I'll kind of go through and talk about the synth and the different parts and what you can do with this. So anyway, that's a quick demo of the song I did literally in about an hour's time, just knocking it out really quick, playing around with the Mercury 6. Probably most of those sounds, yeah, most of those sounds are actually just presets that came with the software. I did do some minor tweaks here and there. I think there was at least one sound that I created from scratch, but most of it was just kind of playing around starting points on the presets, and it looks like I got about 12 or 13 instances of Mercury 6 being used. And as you can see, there's no effects or anything on any of these channels. It's just straight up the synth. I know you probably heard a little bit of my computer's like pegging like crazy for right now. It's that's a lot of instances of the Mercury 6 being used, and a lot of them are using layered, 2 layers a piece. So and along with the software I'm using to capture all this, and so it's kind of spiking my computer. Probably heard some choppiness during the playback there. So I'm gonna turn off some of these layers to try and help my computer not choke like crazy here. And then I'll just kind of play some of the individual tracks for you. It's still, my computer is still spiking. Don't know why, but anyway, we'll start from the beginning here. As you can see, just a straight up, that's like Roland Synth Sound 101 right there. And this is using a preset that has layers. Again, if you click on the buttons for each layer, you can see it changing colors. So that's one thing to keep in mind. So for example, if I was to change the release on one of the layers, I'm thinking I'm still hearing a staccato-ish sound there, but I'm also hearing one of the layers holding out, and that might confuse you if you forget you're working on a layer. Now both of the layers got a long release on it. Whoops, I didn't mean to hit that. There we go. Kind of a percussive sound there, which I like to do a lot with Roland synths. Blend that in with other sounds that could be really quite nice. Maybe not that, but anyway, you get the idea. And on this one, it's just really just a sound I just made from scratch, added on an arpeggiator, which I normally don't really use arpeggiators too much, but since I'm just kind of demonstrating the plugin, I went ahead and put it on, and it actually did this on at least 2 or 3 of the tracks having arpeggiator added. I guess you could call it the original AI for writing music, because it creates a little part for you. But anyway, pretty straightforward. And it's so easy to as you can see, I don't even have any effects on this. So if we did add something, go a little nuts there if we want. And again, what's nice about the Jupiter-6 is you can turn on multiple waveforms at the same time. You can quickly blend between the 2 oscillators. And it's just a really easy synth to work with. So let's try another patch here. Here's the synth bass, which in this case I'm just using a preset here. And the presets are really easy to get to. You can go right to the factory presets here, different collections, or your user presets would be saved here. And of course, like most synths, software synths, you've got all the different categories that you can choose from. In this case, I've just got the bass category pulled up. And, okay, so I know what you're saying. Play some more bass patches for me so I can hear what that sounds. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that it can do. Those are just presets I'm playing. I also used it for percussion sounds. Let's see, where did I have those? That would be here. Let's turn some of these on here. So these are all, those percussion sounds are all coming from the Mercury 6. And again, it's just factory presets. I might have tweaked them a little bit. You know, hi-hat sound here, like a noise sound. Another hi-hat sound. And then mix that in with like a drum machine. And then you get the... and then also add another kick drum down here somewhere. Which are actually 4 different synths. I can pull it up, there we go. And I'm mostly just using factory presets for this, just layering them. And then this one on the end here, I'm actually using an arpeggiator for that. So if I were to just single that out. Just to kind of get a little blend in there behind the chords. Something that's fun to do. So that's the other arpeggiated track there. Actually, I had one other arpeggiator going on, which would have been this one here. Of course, now I'm maxing out my computer again, so let's turn those off again because it's overloading. But anyway, it's such a cool synthesizer to use. And as you can see, it's got these built-in effects, which the original synth didn't have. And you've got this layer section, which honestly, I haven't even had a chance to touch yet, but you can do some more drifting with the oscillators, which is cool. You can pan, I would assume, the layers in different ways. It's got the performance controls down here, just like on the original. I used to love mashing on this modulation button here, and the way you could set your hand on it, you would actually have this slider, or excuse me, bender right between your forefinger and your thumb, and then you could move your hand sideways to push it, and then kind of use your your ring finger and your middle finger kind of the mash on the white modulation button here, and always was cool to be able to use that in that way. Kind of easier, in my opinion, than having to use a pitch bender and a mod wheel at the same time. It was kind of a cool way because it was easy to mash down on that while you're bending the note. So yeah, it's just such a cool, of course, you can't do that unless you have a MIDI controller that has that setup, which I don't know of any MIDI controllers that have that. I don't even know why I was mentioning that. It was just, I guess I was reminiscing for a second there. But it's such a cool synth, and Cherry Audio just did a wonderful job. I have to admit, I was a little nervous about getting another Cherry Audio plugin, because on this one, the Juno 106, this is what happens every time I try to use it now. It gives me this login screen, and I can't get past it. I've even had Cherry Audio, their technical support, help me, and still was never able to get it to work. Really a bummer, because their Juno 106 was a fun little plugin, but I have so many other Juno 106 plugins from other companies, so I was just like, I'm just not going to bother with it. This is just a pain in the butt. But you know, look at this, Mercury 6. Nobody else is doing it, so I went ahead and took a chance and got another Cherry Audio plugin, and I love it. So this thing is just so cool. It's one of the coolest synth plugins I've gotten in a while. I'm really excited by it, and yeah, so I'm looking forward to doing a lot of tracks with this, and really reconnecting with my old friend here, the Jupiter-6, and its Mercury 6 format. So that's it for this video. I hope that it was helpful for you. And if you liked the video, of course, please like it, share, and subscribe, and all that other good stuff. And yeah, check out my channel. It's got a lot of different stuff on it. Not everything is synth oriented, but I am getting more and more synth videos on there. But yeah, it's got a lot of stuff on there that I think you might like, and you can just ignore the stuff you don't like and watch the stuff you do want to watch. So thanks for watching. God bless you.